I had always wanted to ride from Melbourne to Sydney and back on my Vespa. In early 2021, I told my wife about it, but she violently objected. That said, the interstate border never reopened due to COVID-19, so nothing happened. When the state borders reopened in April 2022, I started my planning in earnest and in secret. And there is something else that I need to take care of. I shipped my wife back to Singapore. With the coast clear, I set off the very next morning. My destination for day 1 is Wodonga, where I am meeting a friend. I made a couple of other stops before that, in Euroa and in Glenrowan, where I paid homage to Australia's favourite thug, Ned Kelly. And before I call it a day, I head to Lake Hume for some quiet time. Day 2, I'm heading to Canberra, where I'll meet my aunt and cousin whom I've not met for 4 years. Along the way, I made a couple of interesting stops. After spending a wonderful day catching up with my relatives, the next morning, I have to move on. I'm headed to Sydney next, but not before stopping to see my favorite animal in Australia. I finally arrived in Sydney in mid-afternoon. I'll be taking a day off riding, where I'll indulge in some of my favorite places and food. And of course, to usher in 2023. The next morning before I leave Sydney, I headed to the harbour to have this mandatory photo taken. I'm headed to Bega. Today is gonna be my longest ride yet. After 7 hours on the saddle, I finally arrived at my motel. On day 6, I rode towards Malakota, Genoa, before stopping in Tostere, where I stayed the night at a farmhouse. On day 7, I'm finally riding home. After 2 brief stops observing 2 railway bridge that was built in the 1800s, I'm finally heading home. After 3 hours of riding, familiar sights beckon. And not too long after, I'm back. Just like that.